It's time now for today's three-stock lunch, where we hit three different stories, talk about why they matter to you and what to do with the names. Here on set with us is CNBC contributor Victoria Green. She's Chief Investment. You guys know she's Chief Investment Officer of G Squared Private Wealth. How many times do we talk about this? So glad to have you here in person.
Thanks,
Let's start with Target. They raised the Q4 sales forecast. Nice holiday shopping demand in stores, but the shares are selling off. They cut the profit guidance back in November after they had that big earnings miss, biggest one in 2 years then. What do you do here?
It's a sell for me. Look, I just don't like this stock right here. Number one, they're way too much in discretionary. It's about 50% of their goods sold versus like a Costco or a Walmart where you have so much more grocery and hard goods being sold. And the people are concerned of how much did you have to discount to get those sales growing? How much did you put in? And if you didn't raise your profit guidance, but you raised sales, that means you definitely had a lag there. So for me, it's a sell. I'm a little worried we're going to be retesting that 121 level. And then also, tragically, they do have a pretty large exposure to the California wildfires. I think J.P. Morgan was mentioning 66 stores in the area, about 3% of overall stores. So that could end up being a net drag on them as well.
You are a Texan.
I am.
You do not live in Dallas, but you're still a Texan.
I like that you differentiate Texas and Dallas.
Well, they're very different places. Trust me, Dallas is more like California in Texas. Anywho, Southwest Airlines, based in Dallas, Texas. People used to love it. The stock is now down almost half from its highs of mid-2021. They got all these problems. The DOJ is now suing them over delayed flights. But you wonder, will it bottom out? Is there a reason to own or buy Southwest right now?
I don't think so. It's still a sell for me because I think there are better airlines. If you want to own an airline, for me, it's about the Delta or United because it's all about the international routes. It's all about the premium pricing and seats. And yes, they're eventually trying to shift there, and they've got the new Elliott board members coming on. But for me, they're struggling because they're losing the very discount travelers to Spirit and Allegiant and JetBlue, and then they're losing the premium travelers to people that actually let you have a first-class seat. So yes, maybe seat changes are coming. But for me, Southwest is just really trying to figure out who they are. Are they a discount carrier? They kind of lost the friendly skies thing when they left everybody stranded over the holidays, so they really haven't gotten that back yet. And so I'm just concerned they're just stuck in neutral right now, and it's still a sell for me.
Shares are down 42% over 5 years. That's a pretty tough stretch. Okay, Taiwan Semi, then they're higher after reporting a Q4 beat, record profit, all amid demand for AI chips. Its partner NVIDIA, of course, just continues to grow. What do you do with this stock?
To me, this is a buy. They haven't had the lift that NVIDIA's had, and I think they could really take off, and they are single-handedly saving the semiconductor trade today, right? Semi's been under a lot of pressure so far this year. But look, their numbers were phenomenal. They have 59% gross margins. Their profit is growing, and they're saying, hey, we are going to expand CapEx, and everybody's excited about that because that expansion in CapEx means that AI demand, that high-power computing demand, which is a huge part of what they do, as well as smartphones and wearables may not be as bad, but they're saying, look, there's going to be money for more silicon next year, and that's huge because they're saying more and more chips are coming, and they do what, 85, 90% of high-powered chip production, and scale matters there. NVIDIA, Apple, you can almost name everybody on the street that has technology. They use Taiwan Semi chips, and so for me, I love this stock.
Well, it's interesting you say Apple because we're getting a lot of questions about why it's down today. Down, sliding throughout the day, down almost 4% now. No major news flow. And I mean, okay, maybe it's losing its iPhone sales crown, according to some new reports as we come through. What do you say to investors here?
Yeah, I think a little bit it's a read-through on the Taiwan Semi because they did note that the smartphone, which Apple is one of their biggest customers, Apple's saying, hey, we'll buy every chip you make in Arizona, right? And so they said, oh, that's a single-digit growth, one of their slowest growing segments. So people are looking at that. And there is concern. Apple needed to blow it out of the water, get this AI going, really have this fast recycle for the cycle chip on the 16. And there are concerns, what if China was slow? What if we really didn't see the sales? And so I think a little bit on this is, okay, how fast did Apple really sell? Mm-hmm. I think between the iPad refresh and the Mac, I think doubt Apple at your own peril.
All I know is it went straight up into the end of the year, and now it seems to be going straight down. And maybe everything's changed in 6 weeks.
It's a critical question, though, because Apple, even if you don't care about the stock, Apple is a top 5 holding in like 300 ETFs.
Yeah.
So it moves the whole market,
That's why
or it can't.
Asking. Yeah. Absolutely.
Without a doubt.
All right, Victoria, thanks. Good to have you on today.